Your next project is the gavel. This is what you would make in Metals 1. It has two parts, just the handle and the head. And we're going to start off with this part right here. So let's go to New, Part, Create a 2D sketch. I'm going to select one of these planes, Circle, and for the head, the main diameter of it is 1 inch. And if you finish your sketch and extrude, we're actually going to select the mid-plane extrusion. Make sure you pick this one. The total length of it is 2.75. And this would be the stock piece of material you would start with. So you'd chuck this up into a lathe, and to simulate taking material off of it, we're going to pick one of these planes, say the YZ, say New Sketch, rotate this back around, right click and pick Slice Graphics, and now we're going to project the geometry around the outside of it. So it's the top edge and the side here. And this is giving us reference lines that we can use with other things. And to show that we're going to cut into it, we're going to pick our rectangle tool, draw a rectangle towards the top of it. So this is what I'm looking at here. We're going to make a rectangle go from this chunk all the way over to here. And so that's 0.25 from the first edge and 0.7 to the next edge. So let's go Dimension, 0.25, 0.7. Okay. Now we want to know how far down this rectangle is going to be cut, because right now this could cut all the way down, it can cut all the way up. There's no indicator on where this should be yet. So let's look back at our drawing. It says the diameter of this is 0.82. That's from top to bottom though. So if we want from half of that, it's going to be 0.41. Or we could do it the lazy way. Pick our origin, pick the bottom of the line, and say 0.82 divided by 2, and let Inventor do the work. Okay, and the last thing we have to do, it says on your drawing that all angles are congruent to 60 degrees, which means that these outside angles are actually 30 degrees. Let's go back to your part. Let's draw a line. And if you hit Tab, you can pick an angle. So you type in 30, hit Enter. And as long as it connects back, we don't care what that looks like. Same kind of thing here. Connect at the corner, hit Tab, type in 30, Enter. Connect back to your main shape. Let's finish this sketch. And to show that we are removing material, we have to go to Revolve. We're going to pick all three of these shapes. For the axis, we're going to pick the Z-axis in my case. And you are removing material, so select Cut and click OK. Right? Let's make a new sketch, again on the YZ plane. So we're going to come back in here, and we're going to make a new rectangle. It's going to be somewhere in the middle of this. We have to right click and go back to Slice Graphics again. Should probably project geometry again. From this edge to this point is 0.43, and actually I think that dimension is supposed to say 0.425. So let me change the units on this. 0.425. Okay, And to the next side, we don't have this line, but we do know from here to here is 0.1. So let's go back to dimension, call this 0.1, and the distance from this point to here, again looking back at our drawing, it's 0.688, so half of that, 0.688 divided by 2, 0.344. We still have to show the angle of our cutting bit that's on there. It's 30 degrees again. Finish your sketch, revolve, cut, pick the three shapes for your axis, select the Z-axis again, click OK. Now if we look at it from the side, we have these all cut, they're looking pretty good. Good. So we have almost half the part made. Let's cheat, and we'll use the 3D modeling feature mirror. Instead of going through and doing all the geometry again, we're going to pick for features revolution 2 and revolution 1. For the mirror plane, because we did mid-plane extrude, we can pick the XY plane and select OK. Now we have left and right are identical. Okay, let's go back to our YZ plane and make a new sketch. Right click, slice graphics, rectangle tool. Let's project the geometry at the top and at the side. And it shows on our drawing here that this is 0.4 wide and it's over 1.18. Let's see. It's actually 1.175 from the edge. Double check that's supposed to be 0.4. Yes. And the diameter of this doesn't say on here. Let's check that. 0.88. Let's see if that's supposed to be something else. 0.875. Okay. And we'll fix this later. So from this point to here, 0.875 divided by 2. Select your line, corner, make that a 30-degree angle. So we have the length, we have the distance from the edge, we have the 30-degree angles, we have the distance from the center. Let's finish our sketch. Revolve, cut, pick our three profiles. For the axis, let's select the Z-axis again, click OK. And the last thing that we have to do is make a hole on the top of this, a tapped hole. So we have to click on plane, pick this surface, then we have to use a reference plane, and that is going to be the XZ plane. So now what we just did, if we look at it from the right side, is we made this plane tangent to this surface. Right click on the plane, so it has to highlight as red, and make a new sketch. We're just going to use that point there, so click point, and back on the origin, finish your sketch, and we're going to make a hole here based off of these hole dimensions. So this says it is 3/8, 160 UNC for the tap. Is what you would start with in the shop. You're going to finish though 5/16, 18 UNC, and you're going down 0.63, I think is 0.625. Let's check the tolerance on that. Yep, 0.625 depth. So 5/16, 18 UNC. For distance, I said 0.625. It's going to be a tapped hole. Five sixteenths. Oh, lost my whole note. Five sixteenths is 0.3125. So 5/16, 18 UNC. This taps the full depth, and distance is 0.625. Looks good. Let's right click on this sketch, take off the visibility so we just have a part, and save this, and you should be done.